This is a love story so powerful that it will make you believe in soulmates. It's a story about second chances, about holding on to hope, and most importantly, about a love that defies all odds and transcends even death itself. So hold on to your tissues, my friends, because this tale will tug at your heartstrings like nothing else. But before we dive into this ocean of emotions, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a love so intense that it felt like destiny? Or maybe you've seen it somewhere, a love so profound it made you envious. What if you could experience that kind of love again after all these years? What if destiny had a way of bringing you back to the one who got away? That's exactly what happens in today's story. It all begins in the quaint town of Seaview, North Carolina, in the 1940s. Here, nestled amidst the salty air and warm breezes of the Atlantic Ocean, lived a young man named Noah Calhoun. Now, Noah wasn't rich or blessed with an abundance of worldly possessions, but what he lacked in material wealth, he made up for in his kindness, sincerity, and most especially, his love. One day, a new family arrives in town. Among them was a young woman named Allie Hamilton, who was visiting for the summer. From the moment Noah set eyes on Allie, he knew there was something extraordinary about her. Her beauty wasn't just skin deep, it shone from the depths of her soul. As summer unfolded, Noah and Allie began spending more and more time together. They explored the nearby lake, strolled hand in hand along the beach, and shared dreams under the starlit sky. Noah, with his soulful eyes and gentle touch, made Allie feel like the only girl in the world. And Allie, with her infectious laughter and compassionate heart, reciprocated his feelings in every way that mattered. For Noah, it was love at first sight. He was head over heels in love with Allie, and he couldn't imagine his life without her. Allie, too, found herself falling deeply in love with Noah. She had never felt this way about anyone before, and she knew in her heart that he was the one. Amidst the backdrop of their burgeoning love, Noah decided to express his feelings for Allie. In a moment of pure emotion, he told her how much he loved her, hoping she felt the same. To his immense joy, Allie confessed that she loved him too, and in that moment, they sealed their love with a kiss as the sun set over the horizon. Noah and Allie's love deepened as the weeks went by. They shared their hopes, dreams, and fears with each other, creating a bond that was unbreakable. But their idyllic romance was not destined to last forever. The summer drew to a close, and with it, the carefree joy that had filled their days. Allie's parents arrived to take her back home. Before leaving, Noah and Allie met at their special spot by the lake. Here, amidst the whispering reeds and the glistening water, they made a promise to each other. They vowed to stay connected no matter what, and they exchanged heartfelt letters as mementos of their love. As Allie's family drove away, Noah stood by the road waving until he could no longer see her, his heart heavy with the knowledge that he might never see her again. From that day on, Noah waited for Allie's return, hoping against hope that their paths would cross once more. Meanwhile, Allie couldn't understand why her parents had suddenly whisked her away from Noah. She missed him terribly and longed to be back in Seaview with him. As she grew older, the memories of her summer romance with Noah became a bittersweet ache in her heart. All this time, Noah had never given up hope of reuniting with Allie. Every day he wrote her a letter, pouring his heart out on paper, and entrusted them to the postal service, hoping that she would receive them. However, Allie's mother had made sure that none of Noah's letters reached her. She had shielded Allie from Noah, believing that he wasn't good enough for her daughter. Years passed, and Allie grew into a beautiful young woman. Her mother, determined to find a suitable match for her, began to arrange meetings with wealthy, well-connected men. Allie, though, couldn't help but compare every suitor to Noah, and no one could measure up. One day, Allie's mother announced that she had found the perfect man for Allie, a wealthy and respected lawyer named Lon Hammond. Lon was everything that Allie's mother had hoped for her son-in-law. He was successful, charming, and from a good family. On the other hand, Noah had never forgotten Allie. He kept busy by working on houses, restoring them to their former glory. It was a labor of love for him, as each brushstroke was a prayer for Allie's return. As fate would have it, Allie's mother saw a newspaper article about one of Noah's latest projects, a grand old house by the lake. Intrigued, she showed the article to Allie, who was immediately drawn to the house and the story behind it. A part of Allie wanted to move on with her life and marry Lon, but another part, a bigger part, yearned for Noah. With conflicting emotions, Allie decided to visit the house before her wedding to Lon. When Allie arrived at the house, her heart skipped a beat. It was even more beautiful than she had imagined, and as she stepped inside, She felt an overwhelming sense of familiarity, as if she had never left. Suddenly, the screen door opened and a man walked out. It was Noah. Time seemed to stop as their eyes met. All those years, all the longing, all the heartache, it was worth it in this one moment. They spent the day catching up on lost time, sharing stories and dreams. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, they realized that their love for each other had only grown stronger with time. In that moment, Allie knew that she couldn't marry long. Her heart belonged to Noah. Torn between her duty to her family and her love for Noah, Allie found herself at a crossroads. Her wedding day arrived and Allie, dressed in her finest gown, stood before the altar, her heart heavy with the weight of her decision. Just as the ceremony was about to begin, she couldn't take it anymore. She fled the church and ran towards Noah. Their reunion was filled with joy, disbelief, and a renewed sense of hope. They embraced tightly, promising to build a life together, a life filled with love and happiness. However, society wasn't exactly thrilled about their romance. People gossiped and criticized their relationship. But Noah and Allie, stronger than ever, chose to ignore the naysayers and focus on their love. Together, they faced the challenges that came their way, proving that their bond was unbreakable. As the years passed, Noah and Allie grew old together. Their love story became a legend in their town, a beacon of hope for all who believed in true love. Now, let's shift our tale to the present. An elderly Noah, his hair silvered with age and his eyes filled with a lifetime of love, sat by Allie's bedside. Allie, suffering from dementia, lay peacefully, her breathing shallow and slow. Noah lovingly stroked her hair, his touch as gentle as the first snowfall. For most of Allie's days, the cruel grasp of dementia had taken hold, erasing her memories and leaving her confused and distant. Noah was her sole anchor to reality, her lifeline to the past. Each morning, he would sit by her side, reading to her from a worn notebook filled with their love story. Today was no different, but as Noah read, a faint smile touched Allie's lips, and her eyes, cloudy with forgetfulness, seemed to clear for a moment. She looked at Noah, recognition dawning in her eyes. Noah, she whispered, the name carrying the weight of 1,000 unspoken emotions. In that instant, Noah's heart soared. Despite the years and the cruel twist of fate that had brought them here, their love story remained. Allie continued to drift in and out of consciousness, but each time she returned, she was greeted by Noah's unwavering love and the familiar surroundings of their home. Together, they lived in a bubble of shared memories, reliving their journey from the first time they laid eyes on each other to the day they chose to spend eternity together. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the room, Allie's breathing grew shallower. Noah, sensing that the end was near, leaned closer, whispering words of love and remembrance. And then, as if in perfect synchronicity, Allie's eyes fluttered open one last time. There in Noah's gaze, she saw a lifetime of love, joy, and sorrow. With a final smile, she reached out, her hand finding Noah's. In that last precious moment, their fingers intertwined, symbolizing a bond that death itself could not break. And with that, their journey together came full circle. Hand in hand, they breathed their last, their love story echoing through the corridors of time. Now, picture this. You're sitting in a cozy cafe sipping a warm beverage as the rain patters gently against the window. Suddenly, a melody drifts in from the street, a song that takes you back to a special someone, a melody that stirs emotions you thought you had buried long ago. And as the music fills the cafe, it awakens a longing for a love that may have been lost but was never forgotten. If you can relate to this story, drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Your stories and comments inspire us to keep going, so keep them coming. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Join our growing community of story lovers. And for those of you who do, we've got a special treat. Click here to access exclusive content and dive deeper into the world of stories that touch the soul. Thanks for being a part of our journey.